I've been chief exec for 12 years now, and during that time, I suppose I've really appreciated and had been very fortunate with sort of Pauline being the more recent chair, and is that it's probably for me the most important relationship that I have in my role, and I think that it's the environment we work in is quite tough. We're dealing with lots of complex issues. And I suppose you often hear about the chief exec's role being sort of isolated. And I suppose the main thing for me is it never feels like that, as long as you've got a really sort of a trusting confidant that you can really go to, not with all the positive things, but actually really to explore the things that I haven't yet fully decided upon or in that early stages. And I think being able to then work together to explore from different points of view, sort of really respecting and valuing that sort of the experience that Pauline brings from her own career and her other sort of governance roles, is that, because I think the danger is that if there is an expectation that you have everything fully formed, that's quite limiting for me. So I think that's the one I've really enjoyed, and that's what I'd be really looking for in terms of the future chair, is space in a really trusting, safe environment to explore it. But
yeah, I mean, obviously I was being a CEO myself, so I could understand the world from Neil's perspective, and I also had the benefit of being chair of another care and support organisation. So being able to explore things with him is, I see as an important part of the role. And sometimes we'll explore things and they won't go anywhere. But that's fine, because that's the right thing to happen. And nobody else needs to know, because we've, between us, decided, well, actually, that's not the right way forward. But other times where there's difficult decisions that need to be made, for Neil to understand that I'm on board with those decisions can be really helpful in terms of him being able to see some of the tough stuff through.
And I think the thing for me is I've really appreciated through my tenure as chief exec the real importance of governance and the board. And I've sat as a board member in other organisations, so I've seen it in various different angles over the years. But I think that's I really do respect the role that a board brings in that governance space. I haven't always seen that everywhere in other organisations, but I think that's the thing: is you're not trying to spin a story to the board.
No.
You're trying to be really honest, and I think when you have that real honest, authentic relationship, that it brings everything together in the really perfect way. And I think that we've achieved that, because I think the other thing I'd say around the role of chair is that I respect the role that Pauline has, is to manage her own team with the board of really 11 other board members. That's tough, because actually it's a bigger team than I've got and you don't meet them so often. So I think it's that mutual respect of our respective roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, and I think the confidence of the board comes from the fact that there's a very transparent relationship between the board and the C-suite. There's never any moments where anybody thinks something's been hidden, or, that we know that if something's not going quite as it should do, we'll be the first to know about it, and we'll come up with a way forward together. And there's been there's been a number of examples of that throughout the life of this particular board.